that indeed the Super Falcons is going to at least go past that group stage, especially in that group C that we'll find ourselves. It's more like a group of death per se, but then I think as we are afraid of every other team, so also they will also be afraid of us, because we are no minus in terms of the women football. A highest record winner. We talk about the African continent. We've conquered Africa, take it beyond a little bit notcher to the world out there. So for me, I think we have what it takes to go out there and make a point for ourselves.
We have what it takes to go out there and make a point for ourselves, which is very, very important. And of course, you look at the happenings and you think that Nigeria can still push it through at that level. And who says that we cannot make a big difference at this year's Paris Olympic Games? Make a statement of fact and start by doing the needful. And let's move away from that now, just to tell you that a lot is still happening in football matters, and the league in Nigeria, they are not going to rest on their odds. They want to ensure that things are done. We saw the match day 1 that has been listed out. We saw the games that we played, and a lot of us are already waiting some sort of, or we start this season, and so there's need to also change the system. And that's the beauty about it. If you're relegated, you're out from the MPFL club owners, and the same structure may be there at the NNL, but at the MPFL level, very pronounced. And that ensures that with the relegation of the clubs in Nigeria Premier Football League, and that man, Amobi Ezako, takes over as the new secretary. It looks like a timely appointment. What are the responsibilities?
Who was the former secretary? The reason why he was dropped is that Sporting Lagos got relegated, and you can be in a relegation zone, maybe more like playing Division 1 or the National League. Then you are also holding a very strategic position when it has to do with the main league, talking about the Nigerian Premier Football League, and that is why there is need for that rejigging. And again, Amobi Ezeaku, the boss of Enugu Rangers, was selected or elected, because he is a secretary, able to develop himself in all ramifications in terms of the administration of the club, in terms of following the league and understanding what administrative aspects of football is all about. A man who is highly revered. He held a very high degree in administration. And having been the assistant secretary, I think he has passed through the eyes of the needle. You understand ahead of others. For me, I think it's a big responsibility, no doubt. But then, combining that as a general secretary of the Club Owners Association, I think they are prepared, because it took them about 4 or 5 hours to be able to resolve some certain issues, cross the T's and dot the I's. And they were also able to come out with the new, the full format. They are not going for their bridge league then again. And the board, the chairman of the board, talking about Benga Elegbele as well, they also made an agreement that they are going to increase the next season prize money from 150 million to 200 million. That is about another 50% addition to what we saw in the last, which for me I think is a good one. They also talked about the welfare of the referees. These are some of the key issues that they highlighted in the meeting, which for me I think is a nice one. And then again, they talked about the sponsorship, the television rights, and all of that, which are very key. These are basic things that a league body should do, because in the EPL, where we often use as an example, these are the basic things they do before the league kicks off. One I'm still trying to follow them is about
panning out, and I tell you for sure, with the way the league is going, we'll get to see how far. But Mike, let's take a jump now and let's move to CAF. CAF inspection team will be coming to Nigeria next week precisely, to look at the state of the stadia that will be used by the just one approved stadium. At that level, why send delegations again to come, and what are they coming to do? To come and approve clubs, to come and approve the stadium, or just to, for mere formality's sake, to see the standard, or to look at, okay, Imba Stadium is 50% ready, but 40%, 50% disqualified. What are they coming to do? Or is it that the Nigerian FA and the clubs are partnering to see how far they can, because since they always have their way in everything, bring them, like they did at
delegation to come to Nigeria next week to inspect some of the clubs, that will be taking part in the CAF organized competition. Talking about our clubs here, I actually do not know the way the activity, because it's more like a contradicting, themselves after earlier making a pronouncement that it is only one stadium that is approved. What are you sending the delegation here again? Is it to come and lodge in a hotel, or to come and eat, maybe drink water and go back? I don't know the essence of coming. But then the big question is, a specific stadium that meets up with the CAF required system, and that is the reason why they are coming. If not, there is no way you come out 1 week ago to state that it is only one club, only one stadium that is approved in the in the whole country that is good enough for CAF organized competition, and we have 4 teams that will be represented. What are you coming to do? So for me, it's more like a waste of resources, gallivanting, a movement of jamboree, which for me, at the end of it all, it might possibly not yield any good result, because CAF will still start their ground, and it is only one stadium that is good enough.
So, but so I'm just thinking how this will be done. If they send the representation, or the representative comes and still they go by what the supervisors or the CAF team will be coming down to Nigeria to supervise, some of the stadia that has been listed by some of these clubs. So let's see how it all goes. Before we leave the shores of Nigeria, let's also tell you that one thing very important is the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and in the latest ranking, Mike, it looks like Nigeria are not in a place where we want to. But you ask yourself, are you surprised with what has happened? Argentina continues a blistering form when it comes to the rankings. I also saw England, moving a step backwards, but somehow you think that with the way they've gone to, they should have. One of the biggest movers is Colombia. Colombia getting into the top 10 of this year's championship. For me, it is a lovely one. Mike, your general view on the recent ranking that's not been released?
I think there are no differences. There are no surprises at all for me, because Argentina retaining their spot, I think it's a good one. France as well, Spain, no surprises. I think the biggest, loser this time around, I think it's Belgium. Belgium have dropped that. Smaller countries where you have an edge over them football-wise, they are beginning to gain momentum, assert their own pressure and influence upon the world ranking. And Nigeria, we are moving down the drain. I think it's quite disappointing, to say the least. But for Argentina, maintaining, dethroning other team to stay world number 1, I think it's quite deserving for them.
Quite deserving, and of course, still reacting. We'll get to see more reaction in the coming days. What the person.
Of course, of tactical ineptitude.
Laptops.
Yes. Are you working on them now?
Ma, the prices you quoted are way too high now.
Madam, sorry, please don't cost.
We found the laptop you said is 1.8 million naira for 600,000 naira.
Hello?
Now my body network there.
I can't hear you. Network is bad.
Madam, we can hear you. Continue.
Hello, I can't hear you. We call you back.
Their behavior not good now.
Madam, now this kind behavior they kill our country. You suppose do things differently, make Nigeria for better.
Corruption not in my country. This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Corruption not in my country.
I don't get a lot. Boy, they won't booga me small. They say, man, give them bribe. I say, nothing. Okay, now. We'll go block later. You remember that contract we will do that time now? They don't pay.
But first, you see the house rent with the old since. We go first call caretaker, take the money, slap him.
Beg, see, you know, say I get annual levy why they pay for club. Where me and boys they shark beer in our house, I supposed to pay that one. You remember say me and tell you I go buy you motor. I go buy now.
Okay, they pay you money now. We don't they beg caretaker. We would they beg landlord, old man, and they agree give us time. Money can't come now. You won't divert time. You said na corruption. Corruption, not in my house and not in my country.
Sure?
Sure.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Greenwoods went for goal. Goalkeeper missed it. He does a right hand and down goes ball straight away. Oh, what a point to end it on. So now here's this winner at the best. And winner 12 years for this. So drink it in. Still goes to Andre New Zealand. What he loves to be immortality as an athlete. 19.79. It's a goal. It's 8 goals.
Corruption not in my country.
Driver, why you just dey jack us up and down like this now?
I hope nobody carry belle.
Why you ask, oh?
Because this road where they see so, it no guarantee safe delivery. We just dey vote for government, but we not get good governance.
At all.
Road so e no dey, light usai, the infrastructure nko e come turn to be forbidden fruit for the city.
Corruption, well everything. Hello?
Hello, madam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Mrs. Ayeni. I am calling from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs.
Okay. Okay, I've been expecting your call.
Madam, remove this your phone from loudspeaker.
No vex. Now my phone be like that. Hello?
Are you there?
I hear, I'm hearing you.
Yes. We saw a copy of your invoice for computers, printers, and laptops.
Yes. Are you working on them now?
Ma, the prices you quoted are way too high now.
Madam, sorry, please don't cost.
We found the laptop you said is 1.8 million naira for 600,000 naira.
Hello?
Now my body network there.
I can't hear you. Network is bad.
Madam, we can hear you. Continue.
Hello, I can't hear you. We call you back.
Their behavior not good now.
Madam, now this kind behavior they kill our country. You suppose do things differently, make Nigeria for better.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation.
All right, welcome back. If you just joined us, is Sports Extraordinary here on Atlantic Television Network, and it's time now to talk about club football. We'll start from Chelsea Football Club, where Fofana condemns teammate Enzo Fernandez video, and Chelsea, of course, have initiated an internal disciplinary procedure following a social media controversy involving players Wesley Fofana and Enzo Fernandez. Mike.
I think it was quite a disappointing one for the display of Enzo Fernandez. You know, in the euphoria of them winning the Copa America, they were singing a song, chanting, you know, and that song actually had some vulgar or racism attribute to it directed towards the French national team. And of course, Fofana is his also teammate at Chelsea. We also have Axel Disasi as a Chelsea player as well, a French player, Malo Gusto. They have about 4 Chelsea players in their mix, and these are your teammates. You know, joining the euphoria to, you know, sing such a racist song against, you know, French national team, I think is a height of indiscipline. Though he has come out to, you know, to tender his own reserve apology, stating that he was caught in the euphoria of that excitement. But then, I think that excuses for me doesn't hold water. You're a professional. You were supposed to maintain professionalism. You were supposed to carry yourself like a professional you are. There are certain things you don't do despite the fact that you were under, you know, joy and happiness courtesy of Argentina winning the, you know, Copa America. And Chelsea as well, they've opened up a disciplinary measure as well, which for me I think is a nice one. But then going forward, it's not a good one because we are trying to stamp out racism in the game of football. We saw what actually happened to Vinicius Junior at Real Madrid, a whole lot of other players as well, and that is why even you look at the crest or some insignia in the clubs, in some clubs jersey in the English Premier League, you will see where they write no racism. When the game is about to kick off, you see them kneeling down in one of their foot. It clearly signifies so many things because they want to stamp out racism in the game of football. But then you look as though the Argentine, they are still, you know, very much wrapped up with this racism act of issue, because going through the history of the Argentine, it is very difficult for you to find any black player.
Yeah, true.
Very, very difficult. And that is to clearly tells you that there is one thing that they represent, you know, which for me, Enzo Fernandez has come out knowingly or unknowingly signified that which they represent, which for me I think is not a good one.
I'm sure that the club will follow the procedure and ensure and melt out a discipline on Enzo Fernandez if he's found culpable of the accused crime. All right, let's move on now as we hear that
Barcelona played for Arsenal, played for Chelsea, and numerous clubs out there. Also played for Dortmund. I think it's one player we may want to say is a, you know, a journeyman who have traveled, you know, far and wide. This time around, we don't know where he's headed, but then we wish him well.
All right, and of course, let's move now, and let's just also say that Modric has finally signed a new contract that will keep him at Santiago Bernabeu for another season, and for him, that's about picking one season in, and if Florentino Perez says that this man deserves to stay, then what else? Also congratulate him on the new deal.
For sure, I think he's been a very good leader for the, you know, Los Merengues. He's paid his dues, winning 6 Champions League, 4 La Liga, Copa del Rey. I think he's a midfield maestro any day, anytime. He makes the difference, though he might not be starting regularly, but whenever he comes on, you know, there is this addition, there is this value that he brings into the Real Madrid team. And for them to keep him, certainly see something in this player. And of course, he has proven, you know, that indeed he's a master-class midfielder, a midfield maestro, one who dictates the pace of the game. You know, as at when he knows when to slow down the pace of the game, he knows when to accelerate. So for me, having such a, you know, retaining such a player for another 1 year, I think it's going to be a great one for the young lad as well that is in the team.
And then lastly, this evening, Mike, we hear that Manchester City have signed Brazil winger Salvinho from French side Troyes until 2029. Don't forget that Troyes and Girona are part of the City group. So I'm wondering how this business, you know, is allowed to go. But you ever remember the last time said they will not fault them, you know, but then they cannot sign players from Girona. But Troyes and Girona shares partnership, and they are all part of the football platform of Manchester City.
Well, I don't know how that is possible. Then I think FIFA have given their nod, and I believe they are also following according to the rules of FIFA. Maybe this one will not hold against them, and that is why they went ahead. But you ask yourself, do they truly need this player? Of course, you know, Pep Guardiola is one coach that have a specific admiration for a certain player. Before he makes a move for you.
He watches you.